Hi there, and welcome back to another edition of Road to Drupa. Tonight, we're at that countdown point because there's only 2 more days of Drupa left, and yet there is so much to share. I would have loved to have been able to take you on the tour of the halls, to walk up and down the aisles and to actually show you all the magnificent pieces of equipment are here. There are some finishing equipment schemes that are just amazing. There are some new software solutions over in the Innovation Park. There's certainly the HighFlex solution that HP is talking about, but there are many, many others. And there are just an amazing array of options for anyone who wants to communicate with customers in print. And of course, print should be a part of any multi-channel program, but we know that sometimes it's hard to get started. And sometimes it's hard to map where the various pieces of customer communication really play a role in an overall marketing communication strategy. So we actually designed 3 unique variable data programs to bring to Drupa to help us talk about something beyond, isn't our print quality great? Here's actually what you do with it. And one of those programs was called Happy People Cars. Now, Happy People Cars was envisioned as sort of the crawl in a crawl, walk, run scheme where you have a couple of basic pieces of communication that you want to get out, and you want to do it economically. You want to use as much of your current asset base as you can, but you know you need to grow it. So we worked with the folks at GMC, who are just an amazing group of people and incredibly helpful. And GMC, as you may know, their Inspire software is designed to work in both transaction and direct mail environments, has a great workflow scheme behind it, and is one of many tools that support the overall printing environment that you may be trying to support. So we worked with them and we said, look, what we'd like to do is we'd like to start with a transaction document. And we'd like to add, not a massive amount of TransPromo marketing to it, but we'd really like to show how you can use some good design and color. And so this is what they came up with. And so I would say that this is definitely a crawl. We have room for the line item, but note here how we have these 2 lozenges where we're actually putting some promotional offers in. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but the top one is ready for winter. Our winter kit is available now, and sure, your car is legal. It's a question about making sure that your tires are checked and that you're meeting all the requirements. This was done for UK address sets, so it's basically speaking in UK English, but you get the idea. And so the phone number format and things are definitely done as UK, but it does have terms and conditions on the back. So it's not unlike a lot of bills you probably see in your mailbox in some way, shape, or form. So it's very basic. Get the line item in there, get a little promotional material on there, and it's a really good basic design. Now, it's often the case that people who are producing the transaction documents have no real relationship to the people who are producing the marketing documents. But we envisioned a situation with Happy People Cars that, in fact, they were charged with doing not only the transaction documents, but also the direct mail documents. And we said, well, what if you take the same basic look that you had for the transaction document, and then you parroted that to create a direct mail document? So that's exactly what we did. And here, this is a mailing piece that uses, again, that same lozenge approach. And this time, it's talking about a free oil change. So we've got our nice little car there in our offer. And on the back, we said, what if we went one step further and we even put a map on it, the map right here, to say, come on in and talk to us. And in fact, this one even says, hey, this offer is only good at Leeds. And these are 2 basic pieces printed on inkjet, actually printed by our customer Communicist to help us out for the show. And it really does show what you can do by just sharing some basic design elements to relate a direct mail piece to a transaction piece. As with everything that we did for Drupa, we wanted to show that we have a great broad spectrum of conversations that we can have about print quality. So it's not just inkjet, we can also talk about Indigo. As you're probably familiar, the Indigo story is electronic ink. Very high color, high value documents is certainly part of their story. And so we asked them to partner with us as well and to see what they could bring to the table. So they also worked with GMC and with our partners at Ingenious Rapport, who were responsible for the creative pieces of this, and they came up with a special offer piece, again, another direct mail piece. So this time their direct mail piece, you see, has got a really bold color palette. It's got our same car, a little bit bolder in production, but does the same thing. It says, you know, here's a map, here's an offer. So it's another step on the path to having that communication. Done on Indigo, really lovely quality. Now, I want to point out one thing that we learned a little late in the game, but I think it actually is a great lesson. We were practicing with all of our testing by putting all of our variable data in magenta. And we were doing that so that we keep track of all the variable data elements, because these pieces actually have quite a few variable data elements in them. And once we shut down the inkjet piece and we said, okay, we're ready to go, and all of the work was being done on Indigo, it was sort of a... we were coming down to the wire getting these guys done, so we wanted to make sure we got it right, so that's why we had them all in magenta. Notice that they are still in magenta. We kind of didn't get them turned back. But it really is a great talk track for us to show where the variable data elements are. In addition to this great direct mail piece to match up with the piece that looks more like the transaction, the team came up with this idea that we could do some really great postcards, because again, this is something that Indigo does so well. So we came up with a set of 4 postcards. And each one has a unique tagline. This one is let your hair down. And the back side of it says enjoy the thrill of the road. And again, you'll see that the address is in magenta. But it is personalized. It's, you know, let your hair down, John. I guess John has long hair. And there is a personalized URL on here if you take a look as well. So the personalized URL tells us that there is a lot of marketing behind this. And of course, there's a map on here too to say, hey, here's where you can find us. Great rich blue, really will jump out of a mailbox. They also did a really great purple one. This one is the new car smell, Mike. You know, would you like that? Are you missing the new car smell? And, you know, we have more than 300 cars in stock. So again, the kinds of things you can do with a great postcard piece that will really jump out of the mailbox. We did a great orange one, sort of matches that other piece. This one says, Ketcha, want your own car back? Right? There you go. And this one is all about little runabouts, right? Again, great marketing messages, great bold colors will jump out of the mailbox. Now I have to explain the problem child in this set. One of the cards is magenta. And if you will recall, we were doing all of our tests in magenta. So here is a lesson learned to take away. If you are going to do what is a very common practice, and that is to turn your variable data a different color during testing, make sure that one of the pieces you're working with is not the same color, because this is what happened to us. We ended up with this great magenta card with the magenta text on it. That is, let's just say, quite unreadable. So lesson learned for us. We figured this out. I mean, the printing quality is excellent, but we kind of goofed on the variable data on this one. But again, the idea of being able to wrap together these great high quality, high value, high image content cards along with the other pieces of inkjet and Indigo, we think that this is a great multi-channel story, because we're using multiple channels of print to communicate with the customer. But there's one more piece. So we have talked about the things that go in the mail. But sometimes the thing that goes in the mail really needs to get the attention of the customer. So we got this piece pulled together. And again, this is an Indigo piece. Notice that it's an address. It's a larger format piece for putting in the mail. So a little bit more postage. But it does say, pop into our St. Albans showroom anytime. It's got a great map on it right here. But this is actually a poster. So this is a poster, right? This is a really great Camaro. So if you really want the car of your dreams, here you go. And on the back, it is still personalized. So there is a personalized URL at the bottom, and there's still some text here. So there's a lot of real high value content here. And it's the kind of thing, I mean, I don't know that I would hang this in my kitchen or in my living room, but you know, it might hang around on my desk for some time because it is, this Camaro image is just visually stunning. It's the kind of thing that Indigo just does so well. And it is a great piece as part of an overall campaign. It wouldn't be the only thing you sent to a customer, but it would certainly give a really great impression as part of an overall campaign. So that's our story of Happy People Cars. And once again, it did take a village, and I do want to thank all of the folks who worked on it. We had our team at Ingenious Rapport in Leeds, who, against all odds, were helping us getting all the creative assets pulled together. We had a great team at GMC, especially the team in the Czech Republic, who were just amazing at working with the database that my friend in HP, John Coate, was the DBA for, and we worked very diligently to make sure that we could create something that really used variable data and showed how data triggers worked. I would like to also thank Adam Berger, the DM segment owner for Indigo, for really pushing and making sure that we were able to bring these pieces to light on the Indigo side as well as on the inkjet side. And the team at Indigo for printing these live on the show floor here at Drupa, and the team at Communisys for getting the inkjet pieces printed in Leeds for us just before the show started. It really did take a village, and we were really excited that we got it all. And I'd be remiss if I didn't also thank the team back in Israel. Anat Aran was our program manager, and she helped us make sure that all the I's were dotted and T's were crossed and get a bunch of other things done. So it takes a village. I really do want to thank all these people for helping us bring this really amazing story to Drupa. We still have 2 more days to go, so I'll be back with you with something new and unique for tomorrow. We'll see what that is. Thanks again for listening.